All right. For Q2, it's the same idea, except you use L 0.5 times N. So in this case, 0.5 or 0.50 times 15 is 7.5. Again, this is a decimal. No matter what, you round up since it's a decimal. So we round up to 8, and we want the data value, the 8th one, or the one in the 8th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 218. So 218 is the median, which is what Q2 is. Q3, that's L, in that case, remember L, our locator is 0.75 times N, which is 0.75 times 15 here. And this is equal to 11.25. Now there, you have to round it up to 12. I know normal rounding rules will tell you to round to 11, but you always round up here if it's a decimal. You might get a whole number like we saw before, but here we got a decimal, so you always round up. And here we round up to 12, so we have to use the 12th data value, or the data value in the 12th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 416. So Q3 here is 416. That tells us the 5-number summary is this thing. So here's the 5-number summary. Okay, so that's another example. Are there any questions on that? Okay. In that case, let's keep going. There's actually another kind of graph you can draw, which really just displays the 5-number summary. It's called a box plot. Some sources call it a box and a whisker graph. But again, this just tells you how spread out the data is. I do go through here how to draw it. Essentially what you do is you're going to draw the number line. You're going to draw, how do I say this? You're going to draw line segments for the quartiles. You know, so you're going to draw a line through the first, you're going to make a box from the first quartile to the third one. You draw a line segment through the box at the median. And then you have to draw these like whiskers like thing to the min and max. You'll see what I mean when I draw it though, okay? I'm not going to have you draw it by hand. If anything, I would have you draw it by Desmos. You can actually calculate, you can actually draw a box plot, excuse me, using Desmos. I'm not sure if you can do it using Google Sheets. If there is a way, I don't know. I do know you can do it through Desmos, which I'm going to demonstrate now. Okay. So basically what I'm doing here is this. As you can see, I took the data values from the previous example, but just to make it look a little nicer, I divided everything by 100. So in Desmos, you would type it in a list between square brackets, as I say here. And then you have to tell it to do a box plot. That's what this does. So again, to list the data value, you type L1 equals, you have these square brackets, and between the square brackets, you would have the data values. Then you would type this, box plot L1. And you want to make sure you don't exclude outliers, meaning you uncheck that. Okay, so let me type this. Okay, so I was going to type this in, but I think we're okay for now. Now, what the heck, let me type it in. I'm going to type this into Desmos. Let me go to Desmos. Oh, wait, let me share the screen. Bear with me. Here we go. Okay. So again, what I'm going to do is draw a box plot. So I type L, 1. Very good, everyone can see it. Square brackets. Between the brackets, we want to type the numbers. But again, I'm going to divide by 100, which means moving the decimal to the left 2 spaces. You don't always have to divide by 100 each number. I'm just doing that to make the data more manageable. And of course, you separate the data by commas, by a comma. And then what you want to do is type box plot. I think you can get it from the calculator here. If you type functions, then if you go to, let me see, distributions, you could, as you can see, you can get it here as well. You could draw a histogram also. So again, let me, how did I do that? You click on the keyboard feature here. Then you go to functions, go to DIST, click box plot. But then you have to enter the data set. You could just type L1. See? And then you type close parentheses. Again, you want to make sure you, let me see, do you uncheck that? You uncheck this, see? Now you get a box graph. No, excuse me, you get a box plot, box graph. I made up a word. You get a box plot. As you can see, this is what it is. Okay, so the first, so basically, again, you have this box. On the, here, let's zoom in a bit. Click and drag. The left arrow here, the left, excuse me, line segment here, this is over Q1. This line segment here lies over Q2. Q3 is over here. Okay. You know, Q1, remember, was, no, that's not it. Okay, yeah, that's right, that's right. Okay. I mean, they are going to be slightly different because the data I divided by 100 each data value. And then you have this line out to the minimum. Then you have this line all the way out to the maximum. So from here you can see, at least you can see what the 5-number summary are. At least estimate them. So you could draw a box plot that way using Desmos. I'm not going to ask you to draw one by hand. I think in the book they do that, but I'm not going to ask you to do that. You know, it's not really it's not pleasant. So, okay. All right. Are there any questions about this? I was going to have everyone try one. We have 5 minutes left. Let's go through. We'll go through. Here's what we'll do. Maybe I'll have everyone try calculating the 5-number summary. All right. So let's go back to the notes. Again, I have the slides here in the notes, the Desmos slides, reminding you how to get it, how to get the, how to draw the box plot in Desmos. Okay, can everyone see that? Yes, they can. Originally, I was going to have everyone here sort the data. Excuse me, find the 5-number summary, but we have about less than 6 minutes, so let's go through it together slowly. Let's go through it slowly. Okay, so again, I'm just writing out here how you actually sort the data. I did show you that. And then we get this once you sort it correctly. Once you sort the data correctly, you get this. You have the 5-number summary. We want to get, excuse me, we want to find the 5-number summary. Okay, so the minimum's easy. The minimum's 2. Right? The maximum we can easily get, that's 16. Notice also n is 14. Okay? N is 14. So we have to get a locator. So you're going to be so for Q1, L, your locator, is 0.25 times 14, which turns out to be about 3.5. And yes, this is a decimal, so what do? Well, you want to round it up to the next whole number, round it up to 4, and then you have to use the data value in the 4th position, the 4th data value, and that's your Q1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case, 4 itself is the data value we would use. All right. For Q2, the median, right? You know, we had that procedure from before where you look at how many data values there are. It's even, right? So you do, but let's use this procedure here. Your locator is 0.5 times n, 0.5 times 14, which is of course 7, you know, half of 14. That's a whole number, right? So what do you do next? You have to use the data values in the 7th and 8th data values. I was looking at 6 here and I said 6th data value by mistake. Sorry about that. But you want to use the 7th and 8th data values. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you want to use the 7th and 8th data values and get their average. 6 and 7, right? What's the average of 6 and 7? It's 6.5. Finally, Q3, I don't know why I have Q3 as the median. That's not right. Let me cross that out. But for Q3 now, the locator L is 0.75 times n. So 0.75 times 14, which is 10.5. Then what do you do next? Well, this is a decimal, so you round it up to the next whole number, which is 11, and use the 11th data value. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 10 is actually Q3. So the 5-number summary, the 5-number summary we have is 2, 4, 6.5, 10, and 16. If you were to draw a box plot of this, as in Desmos, you would get something like this. But you can see the minimum's at 2, the maximum's at 16, Q1 is 4, Q2, the median is 7, Q3 is 10. Wait a minute, the median, wait, that's not right. Sorry, the median, sorry, my mistake, the median is 6.5. This isn't 7, 7's over here. Sorry about that. This is right what I have here on the slides. I just read this line, the median as 7, but 6.5. So just letting everyone know. All right. So that's the box. That's how you draw the box plot. Again, you could draw that in Desmos. You know, you would put this, you would type L1 equals and put this in square brackets. You know, same stuff. You know, just like I did before. All right. Okay. Are there any questions on this?